Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Fifer, served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Download the Wendy's app today.
Welcome in. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily. Baby, we are broadcasting live on the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I got pretty high on that one, huh?
That was pretty good. You're like a soprano or something.
I can get pretty high. My voice can get pretty high.
Join the opera. Pretty funny.
I don't want to say what I was going to say. Get myself in trouble. I'll just shut my mouth. But coming up this hour of the show, we're going to get to Ryan Wood. He's on hold. He's on a drive of all drives to the middle part of the state. Is that the middle part of the state? Ohio? Somewhere in that area.
Somewhere like that of the country. Yeah.
So we'll get to Ryan Wood momentarily. Also, got to do one of those hindsight being 2020, right? Hindsight being 2020 segments on the Brewers and their decision of a bullpen game in game 2. Looking back at it now, was that as good of an idea as what maybe the Brewers thought? We'll do that coming up in the second segment. Third segment, we'll hear from Giannis and talk more about this idea of adding full scholarship rides to all these non-revenue sports, which is being discussed and in this deal coming down from the House with this new bill involving revenue share. So we'll get to all of that coming up here in the 4 o'clock hour. Then 7 to 8 tonight, Brewskis Sports Club and Barbecue 76th and Bluemont get down there. We're down there courtesy of Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, 100 calories, no bubbles, just deliciousness. So stop down, say hi to Tommy Wirtz, check out the leadoff show, hang out, watch the game there at Brewskis tonight. We're going to Brewskis for years and years and years. I will say this. I love their Skittle shots. If you love Skittles, I'm telling you, it is the best thing in the world. It's the best alcoholic thing you'll ever drink in your life are Skittle shots at Brewskis. I promise you.
I'll have to try one.
If you like Skittles, I'm telling you, they're amazing.
It's just not what I expect of you, Sparky.
Just telling you.
I thought you were a different kind of guy. I don't know.
What do you mean? What does that
seem
mean?
like a bourbon kind of
I like that.
Straight.
That's true.
Not too nice. Like that's just kind of your style.
Yeah.
You know, maybe an IPA, but not too often.
No beers. I hate beer. No, I don't drink beer. No beer at all.
Just Skill Shot doesn't really seem like you. I don't know.
They're so good, man. They're so good. And I'm sure if Ryan Wood was around, he'd probably stopped down to Brewskis and maybe have a Skittle shot with me, but he's not. He's on the road.
It's time for your green and gold update on Wisconsin Sports Daily, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan with Steve Sparky Fifer.
All right, let's get to our guy, Ryan Wood of the Green Bay Press Gazette. He joins us now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. Mr. Ryan Wood, where are you headed to in Ohio?
Columbus, Ohio. Very different sort of game week for me. I'm actually, after I get off the phone with you, Sparky, I'm done for this game week, which is crazy. I've covered 199 straight Packers games since 2014 when I joined the beat. This would have been 200 against the Bengals, but I'm going to be the wedding officiant in Columbus, Ohio for two very dear friends of mine who are getting married. It's a Saturday night. So not a lot this time of year, but every once in a while, some things are actually bigger than football.
Okay, this is the other thing. When we talk about in the football season, leaving the beat to go do something else, how does everybody react to that, bosses wise and everything else? Because here, it's a whole big deal if people are gone and miss, a Monday show after a big Packer game.
And it's a whole big deal for us as well. I am blessed to work with just an incredible team at Packers News. Tom Silverstein, Pete Doherty, Dominique Yates, my boss, Robert Zizzo. Phenomenal people, first and foremost, not to mention extremely talented sports writer, sports editor. So it's a lot for sure. You take a piece, a cog off the team for a week, it changed some things. But look, I'll say what I told them. Would it have been my choice to have a fall wedding, but I'm not the bride. And as you know, the bride gets what the bride deserves. So it's a fall wedding, and we'll make the most of it.
June weddings are the most popular. Fall weddings are probably the second most popular. I know this from back in the day, helping do wedding DJing back in the day. That's where the prices were the most expensive at any hall you're going to rent. Catering was the most expensive. That's how it always is. June and October and September are the most expensive times of years to get married. So there you go. Free advice from everybody involved here at the Fancy Y'all planning your marriage if you want to do it cheap. Ryan, today, interesting things coming out of our man, Mr. Brandon McManus. So Matt LaFleur goes up to the podium before practice and says, yeah, probably not going to play this week and may have to kind of take it kind of week by week kind of going forward. And when you see that and you hear that, you're like, oh, great. So now we're going to have to worry about the kicker too. Then later, they get to talk to Brandon McManus. And he tells the media that LaFleur saying his right quad injury, or asked about LaFleur saying the right quad injury is a major concern. McManus replies with, he didn't talk to LaFleur about his injury, and that LaFleur has his own thesaurus. Holy cow, Ryan Wood. Like that, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the video to know if he was laughing when he said that or not, but apparently he plans on playing on Sunday. So what to make of that?
Well, Matt LaFleur says what he says this morning and really sounds the alarms. I mean, my alarm bells went up when that happened. And then I get out to practice today, and of course I look for Brandon McManus. I'm looking for 17. And there he is, not kicking, but directly lined up behind Daniel Whelan, who is directly lined up behind Matt Orzech, and getting a bird's eye view of the snap operation, the holding operation, very much like someone who's playing on Sunday. And then to hear Brandon McManus feel confident about doing so, I think that sounds like a good thing. It sounds positive as far as the alarm bells go. But can we cut through all the bull and
Sure.
just get to the heart of the matter here? You're playing the Cincinnati Bengals. If this game comes down to a field goal, if it comes down to the kicking game at all, my God, there are bigger problems.
Yes, I agree. But we've went through bad kickers already, regardless of who we're facing. I mean, you lost to the damn Browns, Ryan Wood. It's not that crazy to think that Flacco with the Bengals, with better receivers and a better offense, could beat you again.
It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen against Cleveland. I get that. At some point, this team is just going to have to move on from the first 4 weeks. Okay? You could not have had any more opposite 2-week splits than the euphoria, the high of stomping the Lions and Commanders, the humiliation, the embarrassment of losing in Cleveland, of giving up 40 in Jerry's World in a tie to the Cowboys. That is polar opposite. At the end of the day, it's also September. Like, now is the time, coming out of the bye week, to see what this team's really going to be made of. You look at the next 4 games, a lot of winnable games starting this week against the Bengals. Who are they going to be? I'm as significant as those first 4 games felt. I'm almost kind of tired about talking about them because there's another 75% of the season to go, and I just want to know what this team's going to be. So at the end of the day, I don't care what happened in Cleveland. This game should not come down to the kicking game. If you're the team that you think you are, you should stomp the Bengals, period. Full stop. Whoever kicks, if it's Mark McNamee or Brandon McManus, should not matter.
Tom Silverstein had a great piece talking about kind of going after the coaching staff in general. If this is going to be a championship quality team, different things have to occur. And he went after Hafley a little bit about the idea of, you focus so much on Micah Parsons and so forth that you forgot about kind of, scheming up the rest of the guys on that defense. And maybe that needs to start to change instead of it just being about Micah Parsons. Agree or disagree?
No, I think that's a very fair point. Okay, so you lost Devontae Wyatt. What's plan B? There wasn't one in Dallas. Now, let's talk a little bit about Matt LaFleur here. And you're right. The piece from Tom Silverstein, it was excellent on Packers News. I told Tom that myself today when we were waiting to be let into practice. It was a phenomenal piece, really laying out in detail all the game management issues from early this season. And it's several. That's a very legitimate concern. Now, when in Matt LaFleur specifically, let's kind of try to decipher what he is and what he is not. And this is how I see it. Matt LaFleur is a very good head coach. If you think otherwise, if he ever loses his job, if he wants one, he will have another job before he leaves the parking lot. If he lost his job this year, Matt LaFleur would be the number one candidate for any team with a young quarterback they're hoping to develop.
Agreed.
Okay? So let's be very, very clear. Matt LaFleur is not a perfect coach, but he's a damn good head coach. Matt LaFleur is also a very good play caller. All right. Sometimes it doesn't work out. That's called football. It doesn't work out for a lot of teams every single week. That's the way it is. That's the nature of the business. They're getting paid too. Matt LaFleur is one of the best play callers in the league. Where Matt LaFleur needs to be better is game management. And it almost feels like one of those things where you're so close to the trees, it's hard to see the forest. He's so involved in play calling. It's one of the reasons he's very good at it, that it's hard to then take a step back and it's overtime in Dallas and your defense's day is done and you're getting a kickoff to try to set up a game-winning drive after giving up a field goal, and you forget that Keyshawn Nixon's on the sideline. He's a two-time All-Pro kickoff returner, and you put a rookie back out there that doesn't know the difference between the landing zone and a touchback in terms of where you're starting the drive.
Yep.
Keyshawn Nixon in that situation absolutely needs to be on the field taking the kickoff, right? But someone needs to say, hey, Matt LaFleur, who's getting ready for the offense to take the field, getting ready to call the plays on the next drive, hey, Matt LaFleur, put your all-pro in. There needs to be someone on the sideline to do that. So it just – how do you do both? I don't know. Because if you take Matt LaFleur off play calling and then put him in charge of game management, likely the game management part gets better. All of a sudden your play calling is worse because he's one of the best in the league. That to me is the concern. I don't know what the solution is there. But this idea that Matt LaFleur is not a good head coach, can we just cut the crap on that? That's ridiculous. He is a very good head coach. And you don't need to speak in extremes in sports. It happens too often, right? If he's not a great head coach, he's a terrible head coach. There's nowhere in between. Matt LaFleur is a very good head coach that needs to figure out how to manage games better for this team to ultimately take the next step. I don't know what the answer is there, but that's where he is.
Ryan Wood fired up. Green Bay Press Gazette Packers beat writer. Follow him on Twitter by Ryan Wood. But let's just have an honest conversation about that, though. Are some guys just better at doing this than others, regardless of how long they get to be in that position, and that's why they're better off as coordinators than head coaches?
I look at it more as an allocation of time. Where are you putting your time? Matt LaFleur's the bulk of Matt LaFleur's time goes into offensive play calling, and there's a good reason for that, right? He's very good at it. It's how he got to this job in the first place is because he can call plays. That 1 year he had in Tennessee, he showed that when he finally left Sean McVay's nest and got his own operation, and then he was hired a year later. And so once you get to a certain place by doing a certain thing, it can be very, very difficult to then stop doing that thing. I'm not saying that that's what needs to happen because, again, if you take Matt LaFleur off play calling, your play calling is going to get worse. But who is on the sideline? To me, it's who is on the sideline to tell Matt LaFleur, hey, this is happening, that's happening. As he is digging into the clips, the notes, the cut-ups, and preparing for what's next. That is the question to me.
Ryan Wood, I appreciate you coming on as always. Good luck in your wedding ventures. Now, you're in the wedding or just attending the wedding? I
am officiating the wedding. So I will be on stage with the couple, with the lovely, I am ordained in the state of Ohio. Yes. So I had to write out the entire script. I'll be coordinating the exchange of rings.
You're running the rehearsal thing tonight then?
Tomorrow night. Yeah, that's why I'm driving almost kind of through the night to Columbus, Ohio. Currently, by the way, very close to you. Currently in the standstill of traffic on 43 in Milwaukee, which I just want to say the town right now, the best team in baseball. Brewers want to win today. That's going to happen. But it's going to be quite a weekend.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Ryan, thank you so much. I will not talk about the gender reveal show you did last night in Green Bay. We'll leave that alone for now. Ryan, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
It's Pink Blazer month, man. All month in October. You can see it.
Yeah, you wore it last week too. I wasn't going to bring that up because I thought that might be the only suit you have.
Oh gosh, no. I have way too many sports coats. It's just I don't know. I guess my thing. Every October, I pull out the Pink Blazer.
Wow. So what color then is November?
No, October stands alone. It's got its own skin.
Okay. So you don't have a color like green's not October, blue is, or red is, December and so forth.
You would like that, wouldn't you?
Man.
I should borrow some of your ugly sweaters for Christmas and go that route in December.
You should just do the show from my house with all the Christmas trees and make them jealous. That's what you should.
Could they even see me, or would they just see trees?
No, we could put you, man. The backdrop would be amazing with all the trees behind you. Yes, I could definitely make that work.
I was deep in the forest or something.
Yes, right. They would, but it'd be pretty. And the lights would glisten off your head. It would be good, Ryan. Thank you so much. Have a safe drive.
All right, take care.
Take care. There he is, Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette, Packers beat writer. Thank you so much for him coming on. Joined us on the Fangast Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That is all. Speaking of that one call, that's all. There's only one place to be. That is the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And you can win big this October at the Potawatomi. Play the Bird Bash game show for $50,000 in cash. $50,000. I don't even know. I mean, we're not talking $50 million. We're talking $50,000, and I still don't know what I do.
Still a pretty good chunk of change. I'd take that any day.
Just play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries, prize drawings on Thursdays. Plus, your play also earns you a shot at the $300,000 December season finale. It's a Bird Bash only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. For more details, visit paysbig.com/birdbash. paysbig.com/birdbash. $300,000? I mean, I'm not retiring on $300,000, but I'm going to get a new car.
I'm going on vacation. I'm taking a month or two away from here, Sparky.
You aren't coming back. Charlie, I'm going to take a month or two off, Sparky. You might as well stay there. It's all done if you're taking a month or two off.
I'll give you a 1,000 out of that to bring me back.
Oh, you're going to try and pay the boss office the other day. I see how it works. Not a bad play. Not really a bad play at all. Hindsight being 2020. Do you think that bullpen game in the NLDS game 2 was a good idea now, knowing what we know after game 3? Let's talk about that next. Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. Welcome in. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily. Served up by Wendy. Sparky here. Charlie Usen, other side of the glass. Don't forget, 7 to 8 tonight, Brewskis, Sports Club and Barbecue. The wings are amazing. I talked about the Skittle shots. The wings are amazing. Plus, get yourself a Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea while you're there. 100 calories, no bubbles, just deliciousness from Sun Cruiser. Check that out. Tommy Wirtz will be there in all his glory, the big old hunk of love. From 7 to 8, he'll get you starting lineups for the game coming up tonight. He'll get you here a little Pat Murphy from before the game today as well. Maybe the Trader too. We might have Trader audio today as well. So stay tuned for that. Hear from Austin Herdenia from the Potawatomi Sportsbook. He'll tell you a good play to make for tonight's game too. It's a big game, man. It's a big game. Now, again, I'm a big fan of being somewhere where there's a bunch of people, everybody reacting. Like back in my single days, I guarantee you I would have been at a bar every one of these games where there were a lot of people, or I would have been at the sports book watching it for every one of these games, but I would not have been at home by myself watching a playoff game. There's absolutely no chance, no shot, Charlie, that's happening.
That's where I was last night.
Well, that's fine. But I'm just telling you, like, I don't know if you heard yesterday, like, you did hear because you were back here producing leadoff show. Like when Tommy's announcing the away team, the Cubs, boo, right? They're cheering, all that. That's how it was the whole time.
I am speculating that most of that, or part of that at least, was Josh Albrecht. Like a good chunk of that. He was very loud. Seemed like he was yelling a lot.
No, there was no. Tommy Wirtz is in here. No, it was not just Josh Albrecht cheering. There were a bunch of people in the bar cheering.
He seemed very animated about different things.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like there was like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 tables all cheering and getting into it. They were all laughing at us because we were doing it, but it was fun.
That's what I'm saying.
His voice carries. His voice carries. And they were sitting kind of close to where Tommy was broadcasting. But yeah. So anyways, that would be my deal. So Brewski's would be a great place to go watch a game. Have some wings, some beverages. The barbecue is outstanding. A couple Sun Cruisers, and hopefully the Brewers get a win. It's not a must win, right? Because there's a game 5. So technically it's not a must win. I got to be honest with you, man. You lose 2 in a row coming back, there is going to be serious worry amongst Brewer fans, I think, coming back for game 5 if you manage to lose game 4, especially with the pitching situation. Your best pitcher is pitching tonight in Peralta. So if you blow this, then it's Imanaga, I'm guessing, against, I'm guessing it's Priester. He threw less than 40 pitches. I would imagine Ashby and Priester are probably what comes out there on game 5.
Probably. I don't think I can think of anybody else unless they go out there and say, you know what, Chad Patrick gets a random start here out of somewhere.
Chad Patrick's pitched well.
Which isn't out of a possibility. Jose Quintana only pitched 3 innings, yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, that's a guy that can come out and start a game. You have other options than just putting Priester back out there. Maybe they'll try something else.
All right, hindsight being 20/20, do you think the bullpen game in game 2 of this series was a good idea? Now, seeing that Priester got blown up. And I know, they didn't know that was going to happen, right? Why are you doing this for? Nikolay Law Fan Talk text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. You can also use Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. Sound off with a voice message on the Odyssey app. Let's go to Trell, North Side. You're next on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. What's up, Trell?
Hey, what's going on, Sparky?
How are you?
Crazy part, I'm doing okay, man. The crazy part is, me and my cousin was talking about this earlier about, do you think he's going to go with Peralta? And I'm like, man, but I don't know if I'm willing to take that chance. I mean, I guess it's all good if the Brewers close it out with Peralta, but what about if you don't win the game? Who's going to pitch game 5? And I understand that they got some really good bullpen arms, but it's nothing like having an ace or a top-of-the-line pitcher to pitch in the closeout game, man. So I don't know. I mean, I guess Murphy, he's been trying to go for it the whole time, so I guess it is a good decision to go for it if that's how he feels. But me, if I was the manager, I wouldn't pitch Peralta to game 5 if need be. I'll figure out another way. And I was surprised that they got Priester off that mound in the first inning. I understand he gave some runs up, but man, they had a real quick hook with him. And I know they scored 4 runs in the first, but
I didn't see Quintana. I didn't see Quintana and Priester pitching in a game.
That's what surprised me.
Yep.
I thought they were going to say Quintana for today. But now since he did that, I'm like, oh man. So he's either going to pitch Peralta or he's not. And you know, I'm hoping he wins. They don't need to lose 2 in a row anyway. But
Trell,
if he
I got
doesn't
one.
win,
Trell, I got one for you. Trev in the 608 said, could Gasser get a start in Game 5?
who's going to start?
Gasser, Robert Gasser, the young kid that's been down at AAA all year that's on the active roster.
Is he? I mean, because if that's the case, we could start the Miz then. If we're gonna, you know, I don't know. But
See,
I think Mizorowski is gonna have to. They're gonna do the way where the pitching staff is right now, Sparky. Next, if they win the next round, they're gonna have to start him a game. Maybe gonna have to be at home, but they're gonna have to start him a game because we're too thin with the starting rotation right now.
Agreed. I agree totally. Trell, thanks for the call.
I like the way you think, Trill. I said that before the playoffs. I said that Murphy might try to put him into that high intensity situation to kind of get that star moment out of him.
Miz.
Could be
Miz
a possibility.
Game 5 in your mind.
He pitched well in that first appearance.
Tommy Wirtz better run for cover. If Miz starts Game 5 and they win Game 5 and he pitches outstanding 6 innings, gives up like 1 hit and just
so
dominates
awesome.
and
so
nasty,
cool.
ha! Y'all better run for the hills. But do we like the idea? I mean, think about what we're talking about here. A Game 5 to decide if going to the NLCS, and you're going to pitch a young guy in Miz, a young guy in Gasser, and possibly a young guy in Patrick. All 3 dudes, rookies.
Priester is basically a rookie.
Priester
He's only pitched
game?
like 1 total full season before this. I mean, your options are only young guys, but that's what the Brewers have decided on.
If you get to Game 5 and you show out with your young dudes and they shut them down and win,
that'd be so cool.
I mean, as a Cubs fan, I'm like, holy crap. Like, all these guys are going to be here next year again. I got to deal with all these cats for the foreseeable future. Like, you were talking about building confidence in I'm not saying overconfidence, but you feel really good about things as a Brewers fan, right? I got another text here on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. This series, it's capital letters, is over. The MLB is corrupt, and they'll do everything they can to enforce a Game 5. And at that point, I think we all know how the Brewers will fare. You're crazy. Stop with this corrupt stuff. That's just
why do people just love saying
it's just so complete nonsense. It's ridiculous. Now, if at some point in 20 years we find out that there's crazy crap happening, right? Fine. I'll say I'm an ignorant idiot and should have saw it. But there's no chance. There's no way. I'm not buying that. No. I'm not buying it in the NFL. I'm not buying it in Major League Baseball. No, I'm not on that bandwagon.
I think these leagues, yes, do cheer for certain teams because they do make them more money, but I also don't think
cheer
they're
for bigger markets.
Right. I don't think they're really going to be that mad if the Brewers and the Mariners end up in the World Series.
Do you know the fallout? If word ever got out from an umpire that he was giving direction by the top of what to do, the home plate umpire said, hey, they were telling me they really wanted to see the Cubs win to make that strike zone a little bit bigger when they were at bat and a little bit smaller for when the Brewers were at bat. If that ever got out, holy hell, it would be insane.
Mm-hmm. People would not be happy.
There's no chance they can do that. None. There's absolutely zero chance, I promise you, that you can be put into that situation. Now, the question is, do you think the bullpen game in the NLDS Game 2 was a good idea? I'm still going with it. I still would have pitched Priester in 3. I would have pitched Quintana in 4, had Peralta ready for 5 or Game 1. I don't change my opinion because Priester got blown up. It's easy to say that, oh, yeah, now it's a horrible decision. But if it worked, and let's say they win last night, Quintana hasn't pitched, let's say. Now you've got Quintana and a healthy Peralta all ready to go at the beginning of that next round. And Priester brimming with confidence to go in the ALCS against the Dodgers, more than likely. Yeah, it looks brilliant at the end of the day.
What if you get a little surprise or something, too? A little Brandon Woodruff coming back there or something.
That won't be the NLCS. I think World Series, I still think that's, if we're being honest, I think that's a long shot. But could you imagine if they came out and said, hey, not only did we win, surprise, Woodruff is ready sooner than we thought. Mm-hmm. He's pitching Game 2 of the NLCS.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the amount of fire that would be under the Brewers then, they would be so
huge
fired
jolt
up,
of
man.
energy.
It'd be awesome.
Yes, that would be a huge jolt of energy. Could you imagine? That would be crazy. That, yeah. Because everybody just assumes, based on how they say, because even Murphy laughed and was like, that's a little too early for the NLCS. We'd have to go deeper, meaning you'd have to get to the World Series. If I am the Brewers, though, regardless if I win or lose, I want the Phillies to win another game. I want them going 5. Even if this ends for the Brewers tonight, I still want them going another game in that series, regardless of who they get, Dodgers or Phillies. You want them to play all the way through for sure, if possible, to give them less days off in between.
Well, and I think you kind of want it to be the Phillies. Just the amount of energy it'll take to win 3 straight games against the Dodgers, this powerhouse, Darth Vader type of force in the MLB right now for almost everybody, for them to go out there and use all that energy and then have to play the Milwaukee Brewers, who, yeah, this is a tough series against the Cubs, but only for 1 game so far. If you can go out and win tonight, do it the same way you won it the first 2 games, you're feeling pretty comfortable, pretty well rested to go out there against a team that's just not going to be at all.
Charlie using over there, Steve Sparky, Fifer here. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios. Mornings can all start to feel the same. So if you're looking for a fresh wake-up call, look no further than Wendy's Breakfast. Try a breakfast Baconator with fresh cracked eggs and crispy bacon, a grilled sausage breakfast burrito, or maybe even a honey buddy. And don't even think about sleeping on Wendy's seasoned potatoes and English muffin sandwiches. Doesn't matter what you go for, it's gonna change your life. Okay, well, and at least freshen up your mornings. Ready for a fresh wake-up call? It's gotta be Wendy's. Coming up next, things that we missed on today's show. We will talk about Giannis. We will talk about this idea of using some of this rev share money to fund full ride scholarships for non-revenue sports. That's now being discussed. Does that mean baseball comes back to Madison? We'll have that conversation. And what in the world is going on with North Carolina football and Bill Belichick? I have to dive into that too. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's here on The Fan. Welcome in, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy. Sparky here. Charlie using other side of the glass. Time for things that we missed on today's show. My guy, Charlie using other side of the glass, told me back when we were doing Charlie's Sounds of the Day that there was some Giannis from yesterday at practice talking to the media. This is a little bit longer. And more than likely, I'm going to stop this as we go because I saw clips of this on social media. And as you know, well, no, he irritates me right now with all of this. Am I playing or am I not playing and all of this other stuff? So this is what I want to hear from Giannis. This is what I want to hear. I haven't heard this. What is it? 3:43. You said it was like 10 minutes?
Oh, yeah, overall, the total press conference, yeah.
What I did not see on social media is I did not see him at any point say, yeah, man, that's not true, man. I had no interest in ever going to the New York Knicks. My eyes were only from Milwaukee. I know we can win a championship. I'm good. I was never entertaining that. That's crap. I didn't sit down with, my agent and John Horst and say all this stuff and in Greece like was reported. I didn't see him poo-poo anything that Sharania said in the clips I saw on social media. So if he did, the Bucks chose not to put that on social media. Okay? That's my thoughts. If he actually did say anything. I don't think he did, though. Here is Giannis talking about the rumors surrounding him and the report by Shams Charania, which said that there was a conversation at some point between the Bucks and Knicks to see if they could make a deal work, or the Knicks were trying to make a deal work. They don't have anything as far as enough to actually get Giannis off the Bucks, so that was obviously short-lived. Here is Giannis.
Temptation, temptation. Like when you're going through the amusement park or you go through the outside and you're not wearing your wedding ring like me now, and the people are looking at you like, oh, he's kind of handsome. Oh, it's temptation. And that starts when the season ends until the season begins. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to approach me or approach.
1 second. I didn't hear this part. Let me see if I got this right. So you're using the analogy of somebody wearing a wedding ring or not wearing a wedding ring. That's what he's saying, right?
That is what he's saying, yeah.
You married or you not married, man? Are you in or are you not? Are you flirting with the Bucks? Are you married to the Bucks? I thought you were married to the Bucks. Why are you taking off your ring in the summer for? What's the deal with that? Just saying. Let's move on. More of Giannis.
I don't know, my agents. And they're going to say, hey, this is a possibility, that's a possibility, this is a possibility, this is a possibility. But at the end of the day, ultimately, I'm going to make a decision. My decision today is that I'm here. And I'm committed to this team. Look, I think like guys that haven't been around, I don't know, a very, very good player. It's kind of hard to get a grasp on it, right? So like, say if you've been around like KD or LeBron or Steph or I don't know, Devin Booker and all these big time players, there's always going to be conversations. There's always going to be rumors,
No, there's not. That's not true. How many rumors have you heard about Steph Curry going somewhere else in the last 10 years?
Just people coming to Steph, usually. It's usually rumors about the Warriors trading for somebody. I have heard.
You haven't heard Steph flirting with other teams every summer, and I don't know. We'll
not
see.
Steph, but people just saying the Warriors are looking to blow it up. The Warriors are going to trade him away or something. That's
not like this.
No,
not like this. Not this Giannis stuff. You do not hear this. Durant, sure. LeBron, you betcha. I get all of that. Steph Curry, no. Absolutely not. You don't hear this stuff. Moving on.
And you just kind of get used to that, right? So before, when I was with Chris, Drew, Brooke, and the group, and Pat, and all those guys, like we kind of were used to it. Chris going to get traded, I'm going to axe out, Drew going to get traded, all these rumors, and we just like, hey, just lock in, focus on ourselves, and focus on what we got to do and what our job is. And now I think like we're a young team. So with my actions and with my words, I just got to keep on validating to those guys that we're here to do something special. We're here to learn, play hard, and I'm here, and there's nothing else that matters. Obviously, you're going to see probably in 2-3 days that I probably met with FC Barcelona too, or I met with, I don't know, PSG.
Stop it. Now listen here. I don't know if we're going to see that or not. I think he's being sarcastic, But you and I have had this conversation. I don't know if it was off the air or on the air, but when you take your family, and again, I don't know if that came up either. If your family actually is living in Greece, that's what's happening. This whole idea of him playing at some point in his career over there, it's not that far-fetched, folks. Kobe Bryant always threatened to do it. Never did, but always threatened. You got Maverick Carter running around trying to get the next Live League for basketball to go over there. I don't think that's going to happen now, but there was a piece in The Athletic on that. But again, is it crazy to think he may go play somewhere over there? I don't think it's crazy. I think it's crazy. We're talking like next year it's going to happen. Yes, I think that's crazy. He's still young. Is it crazy to think at 34, 35, he might end up over there playing for FC Barcelona or something? I don't think that's crazy at all, especially if they're not going to live here.
That's closer to his home. Nikola Jokic always talks about how much he just wants to go back home after playing the NBA season. And these guys,
those two are buds.
These guys, they would rather play where they're comfortable, I think, sometimes. I think Giannis at this point in his career has shown that he loves Milwaukee. He's comfortable in Milwaukee. But, I think he also feels very comfortable in Greece. That's why he goes back there every summer.
Moving on.
Right? Yeah, don't believe, because I'm going to show up in practice and we're going to do what we got to do. We're going to work through our plays. We're going to work through our defense. And we're going to get locked in and play the game tomorrow. I think after this interview here, I'm not going to see it. You guys going to see it. It's going to have you guys' name out there. A report from Jim and Eric. Giannis committed to Milwaukee and committed to this team, and he's going to end it. Me personally, I don't see it. I don't feel it. I feel, because as I said, I try to stay away from social media when the season starts. I feel he
was on social media.
He said when the season starts.
Oh, so it's preseason, so it doesn't count right now?
Yeah, when he's in the offseason.
Well, he's going to see this report.
He does go on his social media in the offseason.
But I'm just saying, he was just on social media in the last, 24, 48 hours, whatever it's been. So if this is the season, I'm just saying, he was just on it the other day. I saw him. So now if it doesn't count till the tip-off of the first game, okay, fine, whatever. Case may be. The other thing, too, is, doesn't it seem crazy to you that you have the best player in the world, or top 3 best player in the world, and you have only 2 beat writers covering that team?
It's kind of funny that he just named Jim and Eric. And
that's it. That's it. Isn't that nuts?
That is kind of
crazy. That's crazy. And the Athletic doesn't cover the Brewers at all. So that's why Eric's there, because obviously there's a ton of clicks from all over. Hey, I promise you, nobody's happier than Eric Name that there's all this nonsense flying out there, even though it's not him doing it, because everybody clicks on all of that stuff because Giannis is the lightning rod, right?
Sometimes all it takes is putting Giannis's name in the piece, and that's all it takes.
I told Eric Name before, man, you ought to be Brian Windhorst, latch onto Giannis and just follow him wherever he goes. That move to New York if you have to, cover the Knicks for the Athletic, whatever. But that's always been my advice to Eric Name. All right, moving on.
The energy within my teammates, right? With conversations, with practices, often in the locker room, at buses, when we're traveling on the plane, that's what I feel. So the rest is extra. It's just extra noise, right? I wish everybody can be like that, but I know that everybody's not like that. That a lot of my teammates will go through their phone and go and say, "Oh, this guy just got traded. This just happened." Like they go and they seek for news and and to see what's going on around the world. Me, I don't do that. Whatever I see, it's what I know. So, and I think it helped me being that way, because they probably I heard this, before I came here. They told me, just know this. They're going to ask about this, guys. The same thing. I've always wanted to be in Milwaukee. Always want to represent the city, as long as we have the opportunity to win, and I feel like we have the opportunity to win. So I'm here. Milwaukee Bucks, I'm here, baby.
This is the thing. I'm glad he said what he said at the end, but don't say earlier on that every offseason is going to be like what we just went through for the last several years. Don't compare it to not wearing a wedding ring, because when you do that and then follow up and say, hey, but every offseason, we're going to go through this. There are going to be people tempting me to go somewhere else, AKA his agents, to go somewhere else. Again, to me, are you married to the Bucks or aren't you? Are you wearing your wedding ring in the summer? Or are you taking it off, Giannis? Let's talk about that analogy. I like that analogy. I'm a big fan. I've always assumed you're married, but now it feels like you're kind of looking to screw around every summer. Now I'm a little bit concerned about my faith in you as a partner, right?
I think he made a very big mistake by comparing those two things.
Just saying, because I'm on it.
I think what he's really trying to say is that, like, his job doesn't matter as much as his family or anything like that, which I think a lot of people have that viewpoint that your family comes first and your job comes second. But then he immediately compared it to your family and your wife and something that's going to be different. If you don't feel like it's that serious as that, then you have to be honest about that. You have to say, you know what? This is my career. I'm doing this for what's best for me. It's not about being the most loyal at this point, because that's what it's never been about that for a lot of guys in the sport, in any professional sport. And that's just the way this is going to go. Right here, right now, I'm with the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm happy to be with the Bucks. But yeah, things can change. Just, like, that's really all he needs to say at this point. Just be honest about how you feel about these things. And I think more people would get off of this. I think right now, because you compare it to things like marriage that people find so holy and so up there in their lives that matter the most, then you're drawing a weird analogy to it that people are going to get on you about, like you are right now. And that's fair for you to get on him about, because that's what he compared it to when he obviously doesn't feel that way.
That's the thing, man. Like, I'm sick of all this nonsense, right? And I'm not even going to get on for saying I'm here today. He didn't say I'm here for the season. I'm here right now, right? I'm a Buck right now. Let's focus on that, because there's all this talk about come trade deadline. He may try and get his way out of here.
First Take talking about that today, saying that the whole league is just waiting for him to not finish the season as a Buck, or for this to be his last season. It's like, okay, come on.
Then you know what I see? I see Bucks fans. I think it's starting to sink in. Bucks fans now on Twitter saying, okay, well, eventually he may leave. And then, all of this time, they're eventually going to be right at some point. As I've stated before, and I will say it again, I will never, ever, ever, ever hate Giannis. That's not going to happen. I will never, ever, ever necessarily root for Giannis to fail somewhere else. That will never happen. I will always, always, always be appreciative of Giannis and how great he is, and the fact that he won the Bucks a championship. I will always be grateful to that. So this is not going to be Brett Favre for me, where I was just straight up, dude, I'm so done with this. Like, all completely done with you just all the way around. We'll never get to that point with Giannis. But I am so fed up with this nonsense. I've absolutely had my fill. Just start the season and let's go. He's had every opportunity to end this every summer, and he never, ever does. And if I was John Horst, as I've stated before, I would have lost all respect for everything involved in this situation by this point for him. I'd have been done with all of it. All of it. Like, you don't trust me. You don't think I'm trying to build a championship. Fine. Like, there's nothing more I can do. You think the Knicks, who haven't been to a damn championship in how many years, is going to be a better fit for you, then tell them to go get a whole bunch more number one picks, and we'll talk to them about a deal. But that's obviously not going to happen. I'm done talking about this. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash on the Packers this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds. Turn your takes into cash all season long. They got stacks now, which means you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want more? Pick more on Jordan Love's passing yards and touchdowns. Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup, only on Prize Picks, I should say. Follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app. Copy their lineup in one click. Download the Prize Pick app today. Use code SPARKY, SPARKY, to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code SPARKY to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for more details. 7 o'clock tonight, Brewski Sports Club and Barbecue, 7 to 8. Go see Tommy Wirtz. Brought to you by Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. We'll have more Euchre Magic shirts to give away as well. And again, he'll get you the lineup and all the latest from Wrigley Field. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'm back on Monday. Have a good one. Toodles.